Hello and welcome everybody. Hello Robert Saber Swaltier? I'm messing that up. Hello everybody, welcome. I am your humble host Gavin the Kitty, and today we are streaming some Sonic Dream Team. If you've never heard of that game, that is A-OK. It is a recent release to the Apple Arcade. I had to go out and buy a specific device just to play this. And I'm finally getting around to it. What is going on in my chat? Hey Zig. Welcome everybody. So let's just jump right into it.
Now, to make my dreams come true.
Welcome Fearla. Welcome.
Puppeteering a child? This is a new low, even for you, Doctor. I will not tell you again. You will never control the Reverie. Now release her!
You won't deny me, Guardian. No, the Dreamweaver's power should have been neutralized.
If people don't like my content...
What are you doing?
Oh boy. People don't like my content. They don't have to show up. They don't have to say anything. They just leave. Welcome Fev. Hi Zeke, K-Saber, hello Robert, welcome everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm doing alright, I suppose. I don't know what in the world's gotten in the chat today.
Just don't forget my reward for helping.
Can you find a way to get them out of this thing, Tails?
I'm trying, Amy. It seems Eggman was using cream and cheese as a conduit to interface with that relic. I think he was trying to use them as a filter, maybe?
What's this thing even supposed to do?
We gotta enter the dream world.
1 second, Knuckles.
I've got a lot to talk about in this game, but I'm just kind of letting the cutscene speak for itself for a bit.
Uh-oh.
Oswaldo? No. I don't really care to do anything.
I've heard of falling asleep, but that was ridiculous.
That was the audio, by the way, folks.
I am looking after your friends.
Oh, I
They will
realize
need your help.
the game's audio is ridiculously loud for some reason. That should be better. Sorry about that. Alright, if people aren't going to behave, I'm just going to remove the chat as a freaking option. Audio's a little low, nearly on full. This game looks good. It is quite good, Fear. I got worried there for a moment that everybody in chat's just going to be spouting nonsense and being a jerk. Alright. I turned the game down a bit. I'm still fully up. There we go. That should be good. So Sonic Dream Team released last year for the Apple Arcade, and when it came out, I did not have an Apple device. In fact, I didn't own any Apple products in my entire house. Or at least no real ones. I did have some headphones that claimed to be Apple, but as we found out shortly after buying it, they're fake, which, you know, did not bother me in the slightest. So this is the first 3D Sonic game after Sonic Frontiers, and this game tries its best to learn from Frontiers DLC. We have multiple playable characters. They all have their unique abilities, just like they did in Sonic Advance and Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure 2, because why wouldn't they? Sorry, I keep looking over to make sure the chat is going okay. I'll trust Fev. I think he's got it. As long as he's still here. So, this game's got a little bit of everything. It's got rail grinding, semi-pseudo emerald hunts where everybody can do them. It's got races. Yeah. I've been posting a couple things to TikTok lately, so I think that might be what's going on. So I had to start a whole new file just so I could show you these keys. These keys do not... Nobody in my chat needed to know that. Oh boy. Alright, well... I get one more weird message and chat's going away. You guys just won't be able to see it, and I'll talk about the game. And that'll be that. Alright. So this is the tutorial. It'll stop you every now and again. Yes, this is on Apple Arcade. I had to go out of my way to pick up a specific device here. So for speed type characters, they have a light speed dash. It's not light speed dash, is it? That's how long it has been for me, and I can't remember the name of it. Switching rails is pretty snapped and positive. Like, everything here is... There's a lot of stuff to do in this game, and I'll have to get into them as we do this. Alright, we're done. We're done with chat. We're done with chat. Cool. I can still read your messages, and I'll read them aloud if they are relevant to the video game that I am playing. I will read them out if they are questions. I will answer comments and things. But no, you guys aren't going to be on the video itself if you guys are going to keep acting like this. I'm going to keep getting weirdos popping up, trying to... I don't know what they're trying. But I'm not dealing with it. So there are statues to collect in this game. This game's writing was done by Ian Flynn and the new main Sonic writing team.
Nice to put a face to the voice.
Likewise, I am REM, Dreamweaver and Guardian of the Reverie.
That's a nice pun. So REM is oh shoot. It's
I need your legendary heroism and skill to recover the
I cannot
dream
remember the
worlds.
name of it. Essentially, it is a it's a deep sleep. It's the actual part of sleep, because sleep is broken up into stages, believe it or not.
I can get us
Out of our current understanding of the reasons we sleep, REM is the state where your body actually starts to heal a little bit and starts to feel better. Mr. Skunktopia, welcome.
I had some help this time.
I'm sorry. I'm not strong enough to free
Welcome,
everyone
welcome.
yet. I've explained the situation to them, even though I cannot fully reach them yet.
So just like Frontiers, everybody is trapped. Unlike Frontiers, though, or at least unlike Frontiers' main story, we can actually play as the characters once we unlock them. Joven the Hyena, welcome. I'm gonna I'm gonna mention before, we've had a bit of a chat's having a field day today. With YouTube is sending me really weird messages.
Well, Ari, anyone who wants to help out is all right in my book. Amy,
Well, Feb, nice thing is Apple Arcade, everything is free. Once you purchase Apple Arcade itself, like the subscription fee, the games are all free. We've been trying to... I've been trying to discern whether or not it's worth it. like, the Apple Arcade itself, if it's worth it. And if not, why not? But this game really pushed me out of the way. I'm using a PS5 controller currently to play this. There's red rings in every stages. There are blue coins to collect. I have not gotten all the blue coins on my main file. I have gotten a majority of the red rings. So yeah, wired or wireless? I have to play this wireless. So, also hello Skylar the Fan Collector. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna keep playing as Sonic for just a bit. We'll be switching characters throughout the game. So I had to do a bunch of legwork and research to even get this game in the first place. Like I said, I didn't have an Apple device when I first decided to start this. You're gonna go? Alright, catch you later, Saber. Sorry about the strangeness in chat. I'm sorry I'm starting so late. So, I did not have an Apple device when I first went out to play this game. I knew that I was gonna have to play this game, and I heard this was an exclusive, so I figured, okay, if it's an exclusive, then the likelihood of this coming to other platforms is low. We're now getting reports that it might come to Android, which, neat. I still would have had to pick up a different device to play it, though, if that was the case, because I don't believe my NVIDIA Shield TV is strong enough to run this game as well as this runs. Hello, Revolta. Welcome. Oh, boy. So, I started looking at the prices of this stuff, right? Because I wanted to know how much it was going to cost for me to, play this game for you guys on stream. And what we came to was a brand new computer was not going to do it. Fab, if you could stay productive and proactive with the removal of messages still, that would be fantastic. I don't know where all these loonies are coming from. Unless you're coming in to talk about the game or ask a question, just refrain from talking like a crazy person. At this rate, they're gonna scare away everybody in my chat. So the new PC was out of a question because I wouldn't have any use for a Apple PC. What are we talking about, if I may ask? I am talking about Sonic Dream Team and how I had to do a little bit of legwork in terms of research before I even picked up the game itself. Because Apple Arcade games are split up amongst a few things. One, is it playable on mobile? Is it playable on Apple TV? And is it playable on PC? Mobile games will often share their ranks between the iPad and the iPhone, which not terrible. Like that's an all right selection. A majority of the games are some of them are strictly on iOS. Other ones are strictly on Apple TV or PC. This is one that's playable on all of them, although it does require you have a controller, because, let's be real here, the mobile version has touch controls, and the PC version has keyboard and mouse. Controller is recommended for this game. but that's pretty much it. I just kind of had to figure out which thing I could play this on. Luckily, it's playable on Apple TV, so that means I had to spend $100 just to be able to play this game, because I didn't own an Apple TV before preparing to do this stream. And to go along with that, I also had to then figure out what was in my budget, right? So how does it run on the previous Apple TVs? How does it run on the most recent one? We ended up going with a 2023 model, or 2022 model, whichever one's what. But the game's made up of, I believe, 6-ish worlds, 6 or 7 worlds, with 7 to 8 stages apiece. At first, there will just be 5. You'll unlock more as you go. Hello, Donnie the Wolf. Feb says, having this as an Apple Arcade exclusive is a bit of a bummer for Android users. Yeah, it is. Luckily, they've gone, and some people have noticed that they are currently... some people have noticed some leaks that seem to hint that this is coming to Android and possibly PC. I don't know. I'd like to see it come to other consoles, but this game is quite good. You've got a little bit of momentum, but only really when you're boosting. Unlike a standard boost Sonic game, there's still open areas. No, it's not normal. I literally removed it because I got tired of all the crazy people saying dumb things. Oh boy. Barely. I kind of lost the track of it just a little bit. I said if people are gonna keep coming in here and spouting nonsense, then I'm just gonna remove chat. You saw just one. On my end, it's like 15. Yeah. That happens.
Well done. We have another part of the dream to explore.
Is this enough to free everyone else?
No. We still need to break down the security.
The voice acting's quite alright here. I think it's pretty good. This game's given me some pretty memeable lines. It's also given me quite a bit of music that's actually really good. Bots are actual people. I am assuming bots. But it could just be a couple people with alts, which I think is just stupid. So it took me about it says it took me about 3 to 4 hours. I don't think it's counting menu time for the in-game timer. But our main goal is to get at least all the way through Scrambled Shores today. If not, get done with the rest of this game, because this game's pretty good, and it's really replayable. As you can see, the momentum here is quite nice. The fact that we've got a front-facing dash and the homing attack on 2 different buttons, it just feels good. This game just feels good to play. It's taking the best of the Sonic Unleashed / Sonic Frontiers control style and making it play pretty good. You've also got different speeds of movement depending on whether you're walking or if you're boosting. Now, I did say we're going to be able to play as everybody, so... And when I mean everybody, I mean we're going to be able to play as Sonic, Amy, Cream, Knuckles, Rouge, and Tails. I believe that's everybody. You have very nice voices, Robert. Well, thank you. Hello, Xavier. Hello, Foxino. There's automated bots for YouTube. There's automated bots for everything, Fev. Fab says, I did see a Sonic Racing game on Apple Arcade too. It looks fun. I'm gonna be playing that after Dream Team. So my main goal is to look at every single Sonic game, and that means every single Sonic game. So I will be taking a look at that as a game. Now here's one of my favorite music pieces. It really reminds me of Sonic Mega Collection Plus. It's got a nice melody and feel for it. It's nice. These stages are a bit slower paced. You can take them at your own speed. But they are the Knuckles-style levels where we are basically emerald hunting. In this case, we are Dream Orb Shard collecting. Because this is Eggman's dream. Essentially, REM has the ability to make dreams a reality as long as they wish hard enough. And they aren't awake very often because last time they were out, they got taken advantage of. And since they got taken advantage of, they locked that power away. But now she's back. Eggman found out. Eggman went after him and used Cream because she's pure of heart, I believe, was the term used. So take from that what you will. But the Sonic Racing game on the Apple Arcade, there's also Sonic 1, 2, and CD that's also playable on Apple TV. So those are all of the Sonic games that I am going to have to look at from the Apple Arcade. Luckily, we've already looked at the mobile versions of Sonic 1 and 2 and CD. Yeah, so I already looked at the mobile versions of Sonic 1, 2, and CD. However, I did not look at the Team Sonic Racing game on the store. The it's a racing game based on Team Sonic Racing, but it's not exactly Team Sonic Racing. I'm just trying to live. Fev, I'm just trying to live here. For the love of God, I'm just...
Yo, Ari, what exactly is the reverie supposed to, you know, do?
No, we're just trying to take down creators.
It turns the dreams of the pure-hearted into reality.
So
I'm guessing it's a hate group, Revolta.
And you'd be able to make it happen in the real world? Interesting.
If this keeps up, I'm just gonna remove chat altogether. And while it'll be frustrating for viewers, I absolutely understand. It'll also tank the ratings of this video.
I am mandated by
It might just be the
Reverie
it might just be
to only
the
reverie Reverie's powers
best
to
course of
those
action.
I deem to be of noble and virtuous intentions. It was this rule that led the doctor to kidnap.
I'm just trying to make a bunch of I'm just trying to make enough money so I can pay rent for the next couple months. That's all I'm trying to freaking do.
I was not decisive.
Some group out there wants to hate me for that. Well
In
then,
the end,
so be
the
it.
best I could do was trap him in his own dreamscape.
It's all good, REM. We'll get your powers back and we'll stop him. We always do.
Oh boy. So there are 4 acts, and then in each of these there are a number of levels. We're gonna try to get a couple more dream shards. Whack version of sugar candies. Honestly, they kind of look like candies. Like, have you ever, like, broken apart a sucker? I have, just because I've made... So I've made what's known as Christmas crack, which is a form of cracker. Essentially, you take a white cracker, maybe even a Ritz, boil some caramel. So basically, you take sugar and you make homemade caramel. Boil that in a pot, and then you drizzle it over top of the crackers. And what that allows you to do is it allows the crackers to adhere together when it cools. Well, for one of them, once it's while it's still hot and while that's still on there, you spread chocolate chips over top of it. They melt, and from there you can add any topping you want because it'll stick, thanks to the fact that it's it'll stick thanks to the fact that it's, you know, it's cooled. It's gonna be hard candy. On the bottom it'll be cracker, on the top it'll be chocolate, in the middle it'll be a hard caramel. It's not bad, but you can basically put any toppings. I've done candy canes before, I've done little bits of peppermint, I've even done candied suckers, which is not too bad, honestly. I really enjoy trying new... yeah, no, it's just a homemade candy. It's an older homemade candy, but it's a really good candy. If you've never had it before, I recommend trying it. It's not too hard to make. You might need supervision if you're a bit younger, because this does require the stove top and a small bit of confidence in yourself, but it's a very easy recipe to make. Dylan Hollis made a lovely video on Christmas crack and how it is and how you can make it. And I say, if you take that short and make sure to follow the instructions step by step, stopping along your way, not a single problem in following his guide for how to make the candy. It's not bad. I believe he uses, I think, walnuts or pecans on top of his, which is a very common one. I've even seen that one done at bakeries.
Yes.
Oh boy. Trying to think about what else to really say here. Sonic Superstars as a whole. You know what? I might just do that. No, I can't. I shouldn't do that. That's too much. You're old enough to use the stove, but you fight the darn thing every time. Well, this isn't all I just channel, so I just like to cover my bases, just in case any smart Alex in the chat are just like, I'm old enough to use the stove, and then they burn something, and that's... I'm like, yeah, no. If you want to make something like that, like, you know, it sounds good, sounds great, at least be a little bit competent with yourself. You know, you can even take a lot of the steps slowly. Like, right? Like, you can heat the caramel slowly just to give yourself enough time to turn off the stove when it's not in use and everything. Oh, you're right. I am so... I just realized. Thank you so much, Xavier. That's very kind. I need to remember how to do that. I'm straight up gonna pause. Give me just a moment. That might even be that might be something I have to do for later. Timestamps. Alright. Don't need to see that. Alright, go ahead and refresh the page. If you're... That should change things. I'm gonna keep the chat off still today. There we go.
Got it.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
You know it.
Anywho. That should fix a majority of the problems. Yeah, well now you have to be subscribed for 1 day, so I'm sorry to new viewers who actually came here to watch Sonic Dream Team, but that is what I got. Maybe I should just get rid of the Twitter. That might be a majority of the problem too. We made the Twitter so late. Maybe just sticking to Blue Sky might be the better route to go. Yeah, this game isn't too bad. It's a lot of moving parts, but you may notice that we're going to be playing through bits of the stages with different challenges. Reach the goal in a certain amount of time, find this many things. Yeah. We're just gonna keep switching between Sonic and Amy before we keep it going. So the main gimmick behind Amy and Sonic moveset is the ring dash, light speed dash. Knuckles and Rouge have a glide and they can climb walls. And then Tails and Cream can both fly. So everybody's pretty balanced. They do want you to keep switching. I feel like this game's got a nice Sonic Heroes vibe when it comes to certain things. The character selection, yeah, so you unlock characters by playing through the main story. There's really... The main unlockables of this game are the statues, which you can collect by getting extra orbs and more coins, and just doing achievements on the stages, because yes, the Apple Arcade does in fact have achievements, which was not something I was expecting when I booted up the Apple TV. Speaking of, there was actually some problems getting this thing set up. So, if you are a non-Apple user like me, and decided, okay, I need to pick up a cheap device to play this game, one thing you may notice is one thing you may notice is that it's really difficult to get an Apple ID nowadays. So their website is completely broken. Or it was when I was trying to make this. They keep breaking it and fixing it. So it made it so I couldn't authenticate the account when I originally booted up the Apple TV. It took a day. A couple days, actually. And then once we were finally able to authenticate, it worked perfectly. But before that, it was nothing but problems.
Yes.
This is the security Tails spoke of. We may only reach the next dreamscape.
Most
through
boss
here.
fights
Yeah, I
are
gotta
going
admit,
to make you
I'm
pick
kinda curious what he's
between
been cooking up.
Of course you'd be excited.
either
children, I'll be
Sonic or
right
Amy, or Tails and Cream, or
you
Knuckles
get
and
to have
Rouge.
all the
They
fun?
won't. So essentially, you get to pick who you play as for the boss fight, and then when going to the next boss fight, I believe it's Tails and Cream you get to pick from, and then it's Knuckles and Rouge, and then the final boss fight is a mixture of everybody, which is a nice change of pace. For this in particular, we'll go with Sonic, just to keep things simplistic. The boss fights are okay in this game. I think they're the weakest part. I believe Sonic Frontiers' boss fights are a little better. Once again, that's just my viewpoint here.
Seaside Dream, giant enemy crab. Why am I not Wait, is that a mustache?
Luckily, it's not too hard to start the fight. So here we get to see that all of the giant crab meat here is, or Dr. Crabulous here is, made out of balloons. So all we gotta do is pop all of his fun. That's suspicious. Luckily, it's not that hard of a boss fight. Eggman Crab. Sylveon, welcome, Sylveon. There's a mildly abrasive face I like to see. Playing X Command mission. I don't understand much, to be honest. And then there's Neon Tiger's cousin track. Yeah, the Jaguar. Yeah, it's a good game. Honestly, I think you'll enjoy Command Mission the more you play it. And with that, we unlocked Cream and Tails. So we've got 2 more characters to play as.
For all your hard work. Cream, I'm so glad you're finally free. Are you feeling alright?
Feb, we are, but I'm still concerned.
You hanging in there, partner?
You know me. I've been trying to get a handle on Eggman's systems while you've been gathering dream orbs. I've determined Eggman can't use the Reverie's full potential without REM's authorization. It's only a matter of time before he tries to force her to cooperate.
Then we have to look out for Miss REM.
I'm only allowed to have 4 of those a day.
Don't you worry.
They're
I'll
mints
look out
with
for each
vitamins
other.
in them.
Now, let's hurry to the next dreamscape.
Not too bad, all things considered. Fev, I know we are getting close to 1,000, but that large spike of about... That larger spike has me concerned. I do everything I do for fun. I don't try to take everything too seriously, but... So in this game, Tails can fly, so can Cream. At any point, all you gotta do is hold down the X button after a jump, or anytime you're in the air. And you'll stay in the air for a pretty good while, but you'll start to speed up your descent after a certain amount of time, so you can't stay in the air forever. You've also still got a boost here, just like Sonic, which is nice. Everybody's got kind of a standard moveset just so they can make their way through the stages. These rings here will increase your fly meter, which is nice. And pretty much another required mechanic that you're going to have to get somewhat good at. The building's gonna explode unless you can fight some dudes. Yeah, that sounds a lot like Command Mission. Over here is the door. Oh, also, update for art streams and things. We have a, I'm down to 3 commissions left, 3 slots. If anybody would like any art at all, prices are listed in the Telegram art dump, where you can make offers on, you know, getting a commission done. You can also see all my previous work and any current work being worked on. Sylveon said, and suddenly... Oh, nope, I already read that. Today was supposed to be a good day. Why is it whenever I step out of my wheelhouse, I'm always greeted by very rude people? right? Like, I've never played Apple Arcade prior to this game. So I have some negative things to say about it. About the experience of at least starting it. Of actually playing the games, though, I mean, actually doesn't feel too bad. This stage is mostly about giving the players a nice tutorial on how to play as a flying character. We wish Fire X was in the main game, to be honest. There are much cooler weapons in that game, believe it or not. I believe there's an upgrade to the Fire X later on in that title. I need to play Command Mission for the channel. Maybe I'll just stop posting on TikTok. Maybe that'll fix it. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud on what I should do. Because I'm pretty sure it's hateful people from TikTok. Because we have the TikTok and the YouTube linked together because the shorts from YouTube get posted on TikTok. And lately they've been building quite a bit of traction because I've started to actually upload at a regular rate on there. McCream plays exactly the way you'd think she would, outside of sending cheese. You can no longer send cheese out to attack like you could in Sonic Advance 2, which I think is a little bit of a missed opportunity. But it's understandable, since we've got, you know,
REM, do you know what's
more of a structured focus with this game.
It's everywhere.
The amber liquid
Unlike
is
Sonic
imagination,
Superstars, where Sonic
the
Superstars
essence
had a
dreams.
lot of
The darker fluid,
moments where I was really confused on why,
fueling his
like,
wings.
certain design choices were made. Everything here feels very deliberate.
Anyone want to make nightmares? Because he's a jerk. And he's a control.
No cheese get him or character development? No, we get a little. We don't get any character development for the main cast, which is upsetting.
Let's get scouting.
But we at least see some new interactions, especially since this is the first time Cream has been playable since Sonic Advance 2, if I remember correctly. I think that was the last time she was playable outside of spin-offs. Just gonna run around, get some keys.
Oh yeah.
Alright, there's that. There's the door. Had to, like, get in my bearings for just a second. Sonic Dream Team is a pretty good game, though, overall. When we originally started playing through this game, I was a little bit concerned about how it was going to go, because I hadn't seen anything on this game. I had heard it was on an Apple device, and that kind of threw me off from wanting to try it, but I knew I'd have to get around to it eventually, because we do the whole series retrospective playthroughs thing, where I sit and play through a like every game in a series, so I knew eventually I'd have to because I've been playing through the Sonic series all throughout last year and the year prior. So I knew, okay, sooner or later I'm gonna have to play this game. Good game for a gacha. There is no gacha mechanics. There is absolutely no microtransactions in this game. Sylveon, there's... Apple Arcade has a kind of strict policy when it comes to microtransactions, which is surprising. You'd think because, you know, Apple was one of the people who made the App Store, they would be very much gung-ho for microtransactions. However, every game that gets brought over that's kind of an exclusive doesn't tend to have any microtransactions. Like, this doesn't, neither does Castlevania Grimoire of Sorrow, which is another game on the Apple Arcade. That one's another exclusive, believe it or not. I kept thinking that it might come to consoles, and then it never did, so... You consider every mobile game gacha. Well, this feels more like a console game than it does a mobile game. I'll give you that. But I can also understand why, you know, the structure of everything around it is mobile. The developers for this game were the same ones who made a lot of the Sonic mobile games. Something that a lot of players have noticed is that this game's design, a lot of its design is both calling back to previous games and also kind of doing its own thing. I do wish we had more moveset to work with here for each character, more customization on each, but I mean, it's fine.
Right.
Sorry about that, I'm gonna have to retry. I'm usually not one to get stirred around by people. But when they start passing around allegations like that, I start taking things a little bit more seriously. It's gonna start to rattle me, just in general. You know, especially since I do make family-friendly content. Yeah, I curse, yeah, it's PG-13, but it's still important. The camera's not too bad in this game. I can only really think of one spot where it started to kind of malfunction, and that was when I was blue coin hunting. Later on in my playthrough. But outside of that, I mean, the gameplay feels nice. The fact that we're only on World 2 right now is what's gonna say a lot about this game. Everybody's bullying X in command mission. We'll definitely have to play through command mission one of these days. So Sonic is a tad bit faster than everybody else. I think it'll be really noticeable with Knuckles. Even with the boost on, Sonic moves a bit faster. There's lots of neat shortcuts and alternate routes you can take. May notice I'm boosting quite a bit. the boost can feel a bit unnatural at first, especially if you're used to the way the boost worked in Sonic Unleashed. But you can kind of just hold the button down and it'll instantly start going. Your momentum is held not as much as in Sonic Unleashed, but it's definitely held a bit more than, say, Sonic Forces, where you could basically stop on a dime. So at moments there'll be bits of this game where Sonic just feels oddly floaty, but it always feels like I'm in control. It never feels like there's a cheap shot anywhere, which is nice. Yeah. So once we finish Sonic Dream Team, the next stream after that will be an art stream. Likely we will be doing a commission or two on stream, like we did last time. It just depends on when the next stream is and if I have any in my queue. If not, then I'll try to find a game to play, but if I can't sell the last 3 by the if I don't sell the next 3 spots within if I don't sell the next 3 slots before the next stream, and or if I do and I've sold all of them, then I'll play a game. But if not, not gonna bother me in the slightest. I've got all sorts of games planned for this year. This is one of them. I actually wanted to do this one last year, the minute I got the Apple TV, but the main reason I didn't was because, well, things change. Mental states change. I haven't shown off one of the more interesting aspects of this game. This game has some Sonic Heroes style gimmicks. So you can start the stages out as anybody you want. But if you're worried, you can switch characters. And the game does not punish you, it actually encourages you to do this. So, as long as you have the other characters unlocked, you can pretty much always switch. Note, there are some limitations. You do have to switch on the ground. You can't switch while in the air, but that was something. Here. There's those coins and... Yep, up there. And just like that, another stage should be almost done here. Glad you're having fun, Sylvian. 5 orbs left. We could do it. Where's Knights at? That's an interesting question. There are a couple of areas that look like they came from Knights. But this game's vibe and more so feels more like Sonic Shuffle, which is another Sonic game that takes place entirely in a dream. In fact, there's some weird connections between Nights in the Dreams and Sonic across the whole series. I was planning on giving Nights and both Nights in the Dreams games a good thorough look sometime this year, seeing as I'll finally have a Sega Saturn and I won't have to play the kind of bad PC port. And yeah, I do mean that. The Nights in the Dream port that you can play on Steam is not very good. I have a physical copy of Nights, both Nights and its sequel. I don't have Christmas Nights, but I do not have a Sega Saturn to even play it in the first place. Luckily, one should be showing up sometime, probably 3rd week of February, which will be pretty good. The next two, we got one in the center here. Might be getting sick here too. I have no idea. You ever just feel it? Like, you can just kind of feel yourself getting a little bit sick? I can, and I don't like it. It's one of those feelings that's just, it's not good. Since when are Maverick stronger than X? Pretty much all the time. Like, think about it. You wouldn't want to go after, like, Launch Octopus as your first boss in Mega Man X1, would you? No, of course not. You'd want Rolling Shield first, or maybe Boomer Kuwanger's weapon. Even then, you'd start with Chill Penguin or or Storm Eagle. There's all sorts of bosses that are slightly stronger than X. I might come back and make a part 2 to this. I'm not sure if I'm really feeling it. I'm not sure if I've got the energy to keep going. I don't have a co-host for today, and I don't know. I always thought bringing content to people was important. Like, it was something to do. When you start a stream and you get people just ruthlessly bashing you with zero evidence, I don't know, it just hurts. After this world, we're gonna... Once we beat this boss, I think I'm just gonna call it. I'm sorry it's a short stream today, folks. Thank you to my mod team for trying to help me stay positive today. Thank you for helping to take care of that, but I don't know. I think I'd much rather put my effort towards making a video today. I've got some art pieces I need to finish. Specifically one ref sheet, you know. Might be a bit better use of my time right now. Days like today makes me wish Casey was here. Zeke says it's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, well.
Right.
Who the heck is Massimo? Well, there's other heroes in Mega Man X lore. So, Massimo is just one of them. But yeah, we'll come back, we'll finish Sonic Dream Team another day. I know this is, like, super short. I'm making really good, like, progress today, but I'm just... not sure I can keep it up. Had a really positive talk with my dad yesterday. Decided to check in on him, see how he was doing. I heard some nasty stuff, and I was like, let's just see how my dad's doing. He's doing okay. He just stood up for himself in the union, and they fired him for it. Which is a shame. I don't think that's right. Right? Like, he was just trying to get the people on his floor to work together. And, they didn't like that. Which I think is messed up. I don't know. My dad can be a good guy when he wants to be. He's grown a lot in the past couple of years. Maybe, nope. Alright, yeah, I should have gone with that plan instead there. And stage done. Sylveon-chan, Final Strike. There will be other special moves you'll unlock throughout the game. One orb left to unlock. All it wants you to do is get the Dream Orb. There are generally only one path through the stage. I don't know if there's any major skips in this one, at least. I know there's one, I think a little later on, that I managed to find a pretty good skip on. don't see this Omega in the game, just Epsilon. Well, as far as this game's concerned, Sonic, neither Omega, Epsilon, Gamma, none of them show up in this game. Neither does Shadow. Which I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of news outlets, when they cover Sonic, anytime Shadow is not in a game, they just freak out. They're just like, oh, Shadow's not here. That must mean something for the greater. It's like, no. They told a story they wanted to tell. They don't have a story that they want to tell with Shadow yet, so they're not telling one with Shadow.
No prizes for guessing what that's supposed to do. So, how do we stop it?
The good news is that its launch controls are just past the barrier. The bad news is that's where the security nightmares are waiting.
So, one of us needs to fight our way to the off switch on the Guardian Hunter.
I'll do it. I'll do my part. Cream, no.
So we can either play as Cream or Tails. Since Cream is clearly the one more gung-ho, we'll go play as her.
Oh no! Can we follow her?
I need time to regain my strength. I'm sorry.
Relax, Cream's got this. She's growing up on us fast, and she's got cheese with her.
Yeah. I just wish we could do more to help.
Should you keep Massimo around? Absolutely. He's a pretty good powerhouse. Just remember that he's a tank. He's not...
Children shouldn't mess with other people's toys.
Massimo's not
You hurt Miss R.E.M.
great for late game, but early game he's alright.
Brat. Foreman, report to the control room at once. Attack on sight.
This boss fight I thought was pretty neat. As you can see, the one was a bit late. Oh, you're supposed to be able to hit all of them there, but all you gotta do is bonk their head a little bit. Then it'll just be one. I'll dash at you a little bit. If this was all the boss fight was, it would not be interesting, but actually managed to bring it up a little bit. That's a pretty good plan, Sylveon. This boss is kind of neat. It's got a nice classic Eggman design down there on the body, but it's also got, you know, it's still running on the Dream Fluid. It's still interesting here in terms of what it's got going on. One hit. And we got another hit. Yeah, after this boss fight, we'll split it up. Luckily, you have plenty of invincibility frames. Makes it pretty easy to just stand here. There's a little trick that I wanted to show off. And just like that, the boss goes down.
You're too late! I might not have had the time to gift wrap it, but I do hope the Guardian likes what I built for her.
Kinda. One more phase. Or I'm just mixing all of my steps up here. Now we're roughly about halfway through. So Apple Arcade is like $10 a month, give or take. So I like to look at this game as being roughly 10 to 20 bucks. And for 3 to 4 hours, main game, if you're kind of just booking it, doesn't feel too bad.
Nice work back there, kid.
Way to show up these
Not too bad of a deal.
amateurs. Mr. Knuckles, Miss Rouge, I'm so happy you're free.
Yep. Now we can help protect REM too. It's what Guardians do, right?
Handsome one, isn't he?
Sure, but he's such a brute. No class or tact at all.
Can we get back to stopping Eggman's plans already? Sounds good to me. Let's get moving.
So then we'll pick this back up later. So we're a pretty good ways in for about an hour worth of gameplay. Hour and 30-ish, give or take. Yeah, no, the winds of my sails have kind of gone and passed. Thank you to everybody who helped out with chat moderation today. Thank you for everybody who's was, you know, helpful today and trying to keep the mood positive. Just kind of hard to do that. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe, drop a like, follow me on Twitter. You can donate to the PayPal if you want to help me pay my rent for this month. You can follow me on Twitter at GavinDragonYT. You can follow me on Blue Sky at the same @. Got an art dump down in the description and a Discord. And feel free to check out some of my uploaded videos. With all that being said, I've been your humble host. Good night, everybody.